Alright friends, here we go. We're making crepes today. Good. As a kid in kind of rural southern Oregon, we weren't globetrotters. I've been to Disneyland in Utah and the Oregon coast. But to have someone who'd been to France, it's kind of far away, exotic. It sounds like, a foreign country. Made my mom kind of a celebrity. Yay. So she went there when she was in college as a study abroad.
I did. It was back in 1972, and so I went like winter semester. I was there from January to April, and it was great. I'd never been anywhere either, but it was exciting to be in a... We were in Paris for a couple of weeks, and most of the time we stayed in Grenoble, but we got to travel all around Europe, and I had a lot of good friends, a lot of good memories. We got to see a lot of museums, learn a lot of history, eat a lot of great food, so it was good.
Cora, do you want to break some eggs? And Soren? Alright, we need 3 eggs. Okay. She'll get to the job too.
I don't want to break it.
Okay, so Scarlett, you break the eggs straight into here.
I want to break it.
You want to break eggs, Soren?
Yeah.
Alright. Go over there by Scarlett, help her out. Alright. And Alice and Cora.
Where do we put the shells?
Garbage man.
Sugar.
You know what, let's move some of this.
This is
There's too
sugar.
much stuff. Yep, we need sugar.
How much?
Okay.
Don't eat it.
I remember as a kid, my father was a really good storyteller for bedtime stories, but my mom was really good telling us nonfiction stories. So I remember hearing about her high school days in Los Angeles. I remember a funny story that in some high school class, sitting behind a kid who worked in a donut shop, so he smelled like donuts.
He did smell like donuts. He smelled delicious. He really he went to work at the donut shop right before school, and history was the first class of the day. So he sat right in front of me, and so I got to sit behind him, and he smelled so good. So I had a crush on him. Just saying.
And he didn't end up being my father, of course, but...
Did someone already put the sugar in?
Nope, not yet. So, 2 tablespoons. Wait, is that a tablespoon or teaspoon? I mean, a tablespoon. Yeah, so there's a difference. Tablespoon and teaspoon. 2 tablespoons of sugar.
Can I do the second tablespoon?
Sure, of course.
There you go.
Let's see. Okay, 1.5 cups of milk. Alright, 1 cup. You got a 1/2 cup. And Cora, you want to put in these 2? You want to be in the video too, Emmett? You want to be in the video too, Emmett? 1. And another 1. You want to do something too? Oh! Soren, pinch of salt. Forgot the salt. Let's do this. Put it in your hand first. Yeah, just go like this. Just go into the salt 1 time. Okay, in there 1 time. Just go, and then take it out. Just like 1. And that's all. So, I don't remember hearing stories about her going to the Louvre or, well, I do remember you saying that the Mona Lisa isn't as big as you think it is.
Yeah, I thought it would be a great big picture, and it was just kind of like tiny.
I don't remember hearing stories about her being up in the Eiffel Tower and throwing a penny off or, spitting off the Eiffel Tower or something.
That's because I did none of that.
Right, that's why I don't remember it. But I do remember hearing there was another boy on the trip that she had a crush on, I think, who was a little famous, and he was on Jeopardy later. Not Reed Nibley, but...
No, it was Hugh Nibley's son, Mike Nibley, and so yeah, I didn't. He was a nice guy. I didn't really have a crush on him, but he was
Okay.
but I really did. I liked him, and it was fun to see him on Jeopardy. So yeah, but he was in our group too, in our semester abroad group.
But he didn't end up being my father either.
All right, so we're basically done. It's just that fast, right, guys? So we're gonna put it in the blender. Make sure we had everything: flour, sugar, pinch of salt, 3 eggs. Okay. All right, guys. Do I have some volunteers who wanna? Do I have some volunteers who wanna push the button to make it blend? Good. One thing, I think you're not actually supposed to blend it like, forever, just a little. All right, here we go. And this is great. Got a little island. Oh, you want to push the button? Good. Now come over here. Push the button.
Can I push it? Push the button to stop. I want to.
A few of us. We can all push the button. All right, and here we go. So we're at the stage of the, making it where we're gonna push the button. Okay, you can push it the first time. Go ahead, you man. How about this one? Now, actually, when you blend all the ingredients together, you maybe should put it in the fridge for a while to let it breathe. But we don't have a ton of time, so we're just gonna press forward, fast, quicker, better, faster, bigger, stronger.
That's the biggest one.
All right. Woo. It looks good, guys.
That is hard.
It looks delicious already. You're right, it is hard.
That was hard.
It is hard work.
Yeah, and my mom likes poetry. I remember she kind of taught me about Robert Frost, and I studied poetry. I studied French poetry in college, but I don't remember hearing about that. But I do remember hearing kind of a funny song. When you're a kid, there's it sounds a little, you said maybe it's not totally politically correct or socially sensitive now.
It's not very kind.
But when I was a kid, I thought it was a really funny story. Would you like to sing that song for us?
I would. It was funny to me at the time too, but now looking back, I'm thinking, oh, we were not very kind.
But it's about sitting on the subway, and I guess you were singing it while you were on the subways in Europe.
Yep, we definitely sang it on the subway while we were in Europe.
And maybe it's not a French song, maybe it's more of an Italian song.
Well, or maybe it's just an American silly song sung to an Italian. Anyway.
I'll sing it with you.
Okay. One day while I was riding on the subway, my Heisel cat, I laid it down upon the seat beside me, my Heisel cat. A big fat lady came and sat upon it, my Heisel cat, it looked like that. A big fat lady came and sat upon it, my Heisel cat, it looked like that. Christopher Columbo, what do you think of that? A big fat lady sat upon my hat she broke and that's no joke, my hat she broke and that's no joke. Christopher Columbo, what do you think of that?
So it's funny the things you remember, from being a little kid.
All right. I could point out this is the original recipe from Nana, when she got this from France. So this is, and in the old days, it's the recipe right here, but then also you could put the batter in here. But it's kind of old, probably a little rusted, so we're going to put it in the plastic one. But isn't that kind of fantastic? You put the batter in here, you put the crepe maker in there, the ingredients, it's like, whoever designed this was a genius. Alright, so we're plugging this in. But this really is fast.
One funny thing, when I was dating my wife in Reno, some of the food dishes that my wife Sarah's mother would make tasted the exact same as the ones that my mom made.
Wow.
So it's almost kind of a spooky, strange coincidence, deja vu. But I figured it out kind of fast. I think because, Klamath Falls is only 4 hours away from Reno. So, but I think it's because both of our parents happen to be members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Mormon Church. So I figured out, I think it was just Mormon cookbooks that were circulating among the women from this time period. And so the lasagna tasted the exact same.
Well, probably also because Sarah's mom and I were from the same generation, and so that was kind of like maybe those kind of were the foods that were cooked at that time or prepared.
Good. And yeah, and I'll say there were some fancy kind of exotic dishes we had sometimes. Wontons or, well, sweet and sour pork. But sometimes it almost seemed like we cycled through some of the same dishes, maybe between 5, 10, or 15 things, kind of a rotation. But it seemed like a special treat every now and then having crepes. They were kind of an exotic thing that nobody else, none of my friends had heard of, or they never had crepes.
Okay, 1.5 cups of milk. Actually, pause this. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see. Yeah. Do this first. Good. So flour, 1 1/4 cup of flour. Let's get a knife behind you. I'll do the butter. Good job, Stephen. Did you wash your hands? Here, so you wash your hands over here. Yeah, so this is garlic, doing some the eggs, sorghum. Put it in the blender. 1 1/4. 1 1/4 cups of flour, 3 eggs, 2 tablespoons of butter. Always put it in the microwave to melt it, of course.
And I feel like we always had that on Sundays
Yes.
after church, so it's kind of a Sunday thing.
Well, it was just easy because we came home from church and everybody was hungry, and so it was like easy to just throw things together. And it was like flour and milk, so it was kind of a quick fix. And so I was able to make crepes and give them to kids and make them happy. So hooray for that.
One funny thing, we were a little poor back then. My father was an art teacher, and we had 7 kids.
And I didn't work.
But it seemed like a great treat just having crepes with butter and sugar at the time. Like, we thought it was still an amazing snack treat. But later on, so one Christmas, my sister Kimura, and they called her Mommy Junior sometimes, so she bought all the kids in the family a crepe maker. And so then we discovered and realized we could put strawberries and whipped cream in them too, and they would taste better. So the funny thing, we had strawberries in our garden every now and then, so we could have, we didn't have whipped cream in our garden or Cool Whip.
Well, see, I didn't think of that because when my favorite crepe was the sugar and butter, and I had those in France, and so I just didn't even think of putting, making them fancy. But you're right, we didn't have whipped cream or Cool Whip in our garden, so.
Remember when I was in college, I discovered chocolate-covered strawberries, and I thought, why didn't we think of this way back then? But it just never occurred to us.
Yeah.
I could mention too, of course, you could put meat or, make it like a lunch or dinner thing too. But never. I never do that. Only breakfast. Only strawberries, whipped cream. All right. Anybody who wants a crepe can come get one.
Anyone that wants a crepe, come get one.
Okay, and so now we have the finished product. And of course, you do it together. I probably put too many strawberries and raspberries in there because I'm greedy, or. But yeah, so I messed it up. You know, like, but there it is. I'm gonna eat the first one. Delicious. All right.
How do you do the other one?
I do it later. That's how I do it.
Well, but what I like about it too is it became a family tradition. At the time I did it because it was easy and because I liked it. But now it seems like because Kamor gave everybody a crepe maker, because they had such good memories, that now all the kids in their different families cook crepes. You know, and Rachel, when she was in college, had crepe parties, she and Leona. And so they just kind of carried on that tradition. So who knew that something so simple would be a food that everybody kind of liked?
Yeah, we do it for special occasions, on someone's birthday or Mother's Day or Father's Day, when you get breakfast in bed.
Yep. And they're still simple. Oh wait, I have some here. Somehow, I must admit that the crepes with fruit and whipped cream are cool because maybe a little fancier and better. But I won't say that out loud. So cheers.
La lune trop rousse, de gloire éclabousse, ton jupon plein trou. La lune
good.
trop pâle caresse le...
I can't give